Hello again, Lobo fans, and welcome into your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm your host, Robert Portnoy, with the head football coach at New Mexico, Danny Gonzalez. Coach G, it's great to be back with you, and I know it's a zero-sum game, a bottom-line profession, and you won a W at the end of the day, but I'll tell you what, it was so exciting to see how your quarterback, your true freshman, Devin Dampier, performed in the first half. What a night for him in Boise.
He played really well, minus the first two plays. A little bit nervous, dropped the second snap, and then on the third down, set the protection the wrong way. After that, I thought Coach Vincent did a great job, got him settled down, and then I thought he was really dynamic. I mean, we were toe-to-toe with them. We went down 8-0. We got to stop on defense after Devin dropped the snap and called the protection wrong, and then we go right down and score, make it 8-7, and kind of went back and forth. Obviously, our margin for error, like I talk about, is real slight, and when we fumble that ball going in to make it a one-score game with the opportunity to possession to start the second half, we dug ourselves too big a hole.
A week ago, it was special teams issues that cost New Mexico. Shored up most of that this week, Coach, but Jacory Krosky-Merritt has been a stalwart for you all year. Unfortunately, the last 2 weeks, two critical fumbles. This one, you guys were inside the 10-yard line.
7-yard line is going to be second and goal at the 7. And they weren't really slowing us down at that point offensively. So it was really, it took a lot of wind out of our sail. But we still fought back and had a chance to make it a one-score game. I mean, it's just our margin for error is that small.
Second half, the offense moved well between the 30s, but things kind of stalled out a little bit once you got closer to the red zone. What changed?
They did a good job in man coverage, knocked a couple routes down. We had a penalty that put us back, and then we missed the field goal. They give them credit. They made plays when they had to. But I thought Devin did a nice job moving the ball up and down in the second half. The score in the second half was 10-0. We gave up a touchdown. The backbreaker was the 75-yard one-play touchdown. In a cover two, you have a deep safety over the top, should have a deep safety over the top, and when they make mistakes and you give up plays like that. Now, we fought back and we were able to, that fumble happened after that as we were driving in, but we can't keep killing ourselves, can't keep shooting ourselves in the foot if we want to have a chance to win in the fourth quarter.
The touchdown the coach is talking about, two players chased the guy to the boundary. What happened on that play, Coach?
Oh, the deep safety to that deep half, he's got the post route, and for whatever reason he thought he had to jump on the cell route, and he covered that. That's the exact same route combination that Jermarius had against Hawaii, where he intercepted the ball in the end zone. So, it should have been a very similar outcome. He should have been over the top of it and had a chance to intercept it and change the game.
Coach mentioned the big play over the top. There were a couple of other plays, and a couple of them came on third downs, Coach. And for the most part this year, your defense, other struggles maybe, but on third down, pretty solid. But the last couple of weeks, there have been some critical plays, conversions for the opponent on third down.
Third and long, too, to be specific. We had a 3rd and 10 on the first drive that they completed a ball on the sideline, a 3rd and 6 on the second drive. We've made those plays all season long. Now give them credit. They made a great catch on the sideline. I'm not sure it was in bounds. It was close, but they told me that they cleared it on replay, so we didn't challenge it. But Zach's right there. That's a 50-50 ball. We've made a few of those. Over the last couple of weeks, we've made a few, but this week and last week against UNLV, we did not.
The defense has been getting better, and a couple of players you mentioned, Zach Morris, Dimitri Johnson, they're in position to make plays on those third downs. One on the sideline, like you pointed out, and one in the middle of the field on the screen. They just weren't able quite to finish those plays.
No, and they converted drives, and they were able to get points out of them. They got a touchdown out of the first one. They got a field goal out of the second one. So we've got to be able to get off the field on third down like we were earlier in the season, so that our offense can continue to move and score points and keep us in the game.
That field goal came after the fumble, and that 10-point swing was just monstrous, wasn't it?
Oh, it was huge. Obviously too much for us to overcome. If we can make it a one-score game and we're going to get the ball because we deferred, we're going to get the ball to start the second half, you got an opportunity to make it back to a 1 point, or at that point decide whether or not we're going to go for 2 to try and tie it up. But we didn't get to that point.
Well, Boise, perennially a terrific team in the Mountain West. They've had a little bit of a down year for them, but the Lobos were highly competitive, and it was a very entertaining contest on the blue. We look at first half highlights next. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with the head football coach at UNM, Danny Gonzalez. Coach G, it's time to get into first half highlights. The Lobos on the blue in Boise.
Well, once again, we deferred. Obviously, we didn't kick the kick very deep, but our coverage was able to get them down on the 37-yard line, and that's where Boise is going to start their drive. We had a couple of really strange assignment errors this first drive that allowed them to convert first downs. I mean, some big runs that normally were in the right spot. And then Zach Morris set his feet on this route. They were able to throw it over the top and get out to an early lead.
What about the over-the-top coverage on that play? It looked like the angle was kind of shallow.
Yeah, it was. I mean, our free safety has to sit there on run and then get over top, and then Boise with one of their numbers formation. We were lined up right, but they out-executed us, and they were able to go to the two-point conversion for an 8-0 lead. And then we came out, I mean, Devin's first few snaps, obviously. This one, he accidentally slid the protection the wrong way. We had a slant and go set up for Andrew, and the protection collapsed, so he had to just throw it away. Now, down 8-0, I thought we came out on defense the very next series. We did a great job. We got off the field. We got him into a punt. We got him to a 3rd and long where we're able to, this is a great play by Zach Morris on the sideline. The exact same play he's going to get later that they convert. But we were able to get the ball back, and then I thought Devin started a nice drive and went to work.
Now, that was a monstrous defensive stop. And Devin showed everything, Coach. His ability, his toughness there in the run game, his throwing ability, and his ability to create in the scramble.
Oh, that was one thing that he was able to keep alive. Now, obviously, I think we've done a really good job in pass protection this year. There's another run by Bill. I mean, Bill just runs so aggressive. But Devin was able to extend some of these because of his feet. I mean, did a nice job right here identifying the high-low between the corner. The corner sank, so he threw it to RD, and we get the first down on 2nd and 6.
Coach, I went on their tailgate show on the radio pregame and told them, wait till you see Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt. And one of them's a former player. I don't think he believed me. He knows after this game.
No, he sure did. I mean, Ja'Cory ran hard. I mean, there's another play right there by Devin. What he's able to do with the football, I mean, these little throws like this are unbelievable, that he can actually find the receiver and turn a bad play into a positive play. I mean, that was a 9-yard gain on just him making something up. And then we're able to get into give the ball to Bill down here in the red zone. And then between Bill and Devin, both of those guys are dangerous when you get down here, but there's another violent run by Bill.
God, he delivers the blow right here. Look at this collision, Coach. That's football, and he never shies away from that.
He does not. He actually looks for it, which is awesome. Now, if we come out on defense, they're gonna hit us one here for a second. Now, I thought George Solani did a great job of running. I think he runs hard. I think he's a really good running back. But we didn't give ourselves a chance. We get him into a 3rd down situation. This is a nice sack right here by Tate Zimmerman. The route that they ran on that was the touchdown route from the very first play, but if you see right there in the background, Zach Morris is all over it. So when we concentrate, we have a chance to be pretty good, but we make silly mistakes, and they cost us. This was a 3rd and 13. The play that Zach made on the previous one, he thought they blew the whistle dead, so he didn't swing at it. They caught it, and they said he was in bounds, and then that enabled them to put the ball in the end zone on this run.
So close to being out of bounds on that catch. Terrific catch, a great throw, but it's a razor-thin margin.
It is. Now here we go again. Devin comes right back and throws one over the top. If Devin would have threw this ball about a half second earlier, Caleb Medford's going to walk into the end zone, but not a big deal. I mean, you can see how bad Caleb is behind the series, and Devin hitched it one too many times, and Caleb had to wait for it, which allowed the DB to catch up. But 2 plays later, we're going to put the ball in the end zone. I mean, Ja'Cory, here he is again, running really hard right down the sideline, and then we're going to give it to him one more time, and here he goes into the end zone.
Ja'Cory is so tough to bring down, and I love the route that Caleb Medford ran. Just one good hard step to the outside. They bit down on that, and he was off to the races.
Exactly right. Now, 15-14, this was really, this one bothersome. I mean, we should have a free safety, like I said. That exact same play, Jamarius intercepted against Hawaii. Should have been contested. You can see right there, for some reason, he bit on the sail route. He should, right as he turned right there, he should have turned and ran in phase with the deep receiver and have a chance to intercept the football. And then we have the invalid fair catch signal right here. So we're gonna start backed up. And that crowd over in Boise, they do a great job. I mean, they've got some tradition there. It was a blackout. They were loud down in the end zone. We had 2 false start penalties that backed us up. Coach V we kind of messed this up as coaches. We should have went on silent right away and just eliminated that problem, but we didn't. And we're gonna have to punt here out of our own end zone and give them great field position.
And this was tough because obviously it swung the momentum and gave them an opportunity to go up by a couple scores.
It did. I mean, I'm glad we were able to. Devin right here with his feet gave us a little bit extra room to punt the ball, so we weren't backed up in the back of our end zone. And boy, Devin's dynamic when he runs the ball. But we give him the ball at midfield, and I mean, the fly sweep right here, they get about 8 or 9 yards. And then Taylor Green's going to get us down here at the end. I mean, they did a nice job on some of these sail routes. Our corners were a little bit too soft in coverage right here, and then Taylor Green we don't sit on the quarterback like we're supposed to and make him hand the football off. And he's a pretty good runner. And when he gets going downhill, I mean, he's a big old sucker to try and tackle, and he was able to put it in the end zone.
Yeah, it's a pretty unique situation. They have a great thrower in Madsen and a really good dual threat guy in Green.
Now, I thought our offense came out, and once again, we're going to throw punches with them, toe-to-toe. Great play action right here to the Trace Bruckler, our tight end. I mean, we're moving the ball right down the field. And we were looking at the score right here, at the clock right here. With 5 minutes to go, if we can score with under 2 minutes and make it a 21-29 ball game, we knew we were going to get the ball to start the first half. And we're going to be right in this football game. I mean, and Bill, I mean, he runs so hard down here to the 6-yard line. We're going to give him a fly sweep here in a second, and he's fighting for some extra yards. And I mean, look at Devin right here. This was his first incompletion of the night. Oh, sorry, no, this is the one that he completed. We're going to throw one to Andrew here in the end zone. This one right here, Bill just trying to get an extra yard. He throws the guy off, and the ball comes loose. So obviously we can fix the ball security, but in inopportune times we can't. I mean, he throws the defender away, but you can't lose the football when you're doing that. You got to make sure that thing's protected.
Yeah, one stretch, Devin Dampier, true freshman, had 13 straight completions, Coach.
We did. Right here, there's a block reaction missed. We got a cross face on the center, and it'll force it right back to our linebacker. They converted a 3rd and 5. And then we had a face mask penalty right here, which, I mean, those are the kind of penalties that are going to happen on the moving part of a football game. It was unfortunate this side got his face, and then we get him into a second long. They throw a tailback screen. Our spy guy that's sitting on it got a little bit too deep, missed the tackle, and they're able to get it down into our territory with about 30 seconds to go.
You guys do a nice job of forcing a field goal attempt here. And that was big, especially knowing that you're going to have the ball to start the second half.
It was. I mean, the plan was 32. We go out and make it 21-32 if we can score on the first drive of the game, or even 32-17. I mean, we're still in striking distance. We did a nice job, and I mean, our kids are playing hard, and we made some mistakes that gave them plays like the 75-yard touchdown and the fumble. Obviously, they built a lead at halftime that we're going to have to try and overcome in the second half.
Look at those numbers in the first half for the true freshman Devin Dampier. His first career start, Coach. A little window into the future, and it looks pretty bright.
It does. Devin is dynamic. He can throw the ball. He can run. He's twitchy. He's athletic. And his demeanor, he's just calm. And I thought he was really good for the offense on Saturday. Now, obviously, we missed Dylan, and Dylan will be back this week. But I thought Devin did a great job for his first start.
Speaking of Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt, the Lobos' outstanding tailback, that one conversion where he got you guys a first down there in the red zone, where he makes 2 players miss in the hole. We talk about his toughness all the time, but he is so good with the jump cuts when it's a one-on-one scenario.
Oh, his quick twitch is something special, and he can do it on a dime. If he does it in the backfield, usually those plays become negative plays, but he forces it to get positive yardage out of it. When he does it in the hole and downfield, I mean, he's special.
Dangerous. Okay, we come back after the timeout. We take a peek at second half highlights. The Lobos on the blue in Boise. We're back on your Lobo Coaches Show with Danny Gonzalez, the head football coach at New Mexico. It's time to get into second half highlights. The Lobos in Boise on the blue.
Now we came out, like I said, we deferred, so we got the ball to start the second half. And the idea was we go down and make it 32-21. I mean, we'll have a chance to extend this game into the third and fourth quarter if we get a couple stops on defense.
Start to get Jeremiah Hickson, your slot receiver, involved. And I thought that this shows the best of what DJ Washington offers. With that hands catch up over his head, he just snatched it out of the sky.
He's such a big target, and he does some things. Now, obviously, we slipped up in protection right there, and they were able to get on the right side of our line and get us into a 2nd and 20. And when we get behind the chains, I mean, now Devin does some pretty amazing things with his feet right here, and we get a pass interference call. I mean, that's pretty special.
He creates that pass interference call by keeping that play alive. And, the receivers, I thought, did a great job on those scenarios. A couple of times, Trace Bruckler showed himself to Devin. I'm right here for you. I'm right here.
They did. They stayed active. Now, this is one of the throws that Devin missed. DJ was actually wide open on the back shoulder down here. He just got a little antsy. And then same thing down here. He's supposed to throw the vertical route to DJ down here at the bottom. He got a little antsy, threw it up to Caleb. And then, unfortunately, we missed the field goal. I thought this was a big momentum swing, too. I mean, you have a chance to make it 32-17, get it back down to a 15-point ball game, and instead we missed the field goal, and they're able to move the ball down the field and get a score themselves.
A couple of long field goal attempts over the last 2 weeks, Coach, for Drizwicki. Hit him well, but just hooked him a little bit wide left.
And here's a great PBU by Dante. I mean, he's down to 1 before he ties Glover's record and have a chance to break it over the next 2 weeks. And then this one, they were able to pop a couple runs down here to get inside. I mean, that was a 3rd and 6 run that unfortunately was able to convert a first down, and then they're able to put the ball down here in the end zone.
So after you're not able to score with your first possession, this was a real momentum situation for Boise State.
It was. I mean, instead of it being 32-17, it's 39-14 because we give up the touchdown. And that was the only touchdown they're going to get in the second half, but we weren't able to match them score for score. I mean, here's another great run by Bill after we throw it out to a little screen pass with him and get him outnumbered, and then he converts the first down, but we're going to stall down here in the red zone.
Was it another situation this week, Coach, of because of the distance between you and your opponent, throwing the ball more in the second half than you'd really like to?
Yeah, the only chance we have to get back in the game is to score quick, and we can't get into our normal. And I thought that was a missed call right there on 3rd down. I thought they hooked RD on the waist right there. It should have passed interference. And then 4th down, I mean, we're not going to throw the white towel. We're going to try and score. We're not going to punt and just keep the score what it is. They were able to get a sack, and defense takes over at midfield.
Absolutely spun Ryan Davis around on that one. No question about it.
And there's no doubt. Now, this was a good stop right here. They fumbled the snap on a 3rd and 1, and they're going to settle for a field goal. But this was a good job by the defense coming out and holding up in sudden change after the sack on 4th down and holding them to a field goal attempt, which they made.
This is a great defensive performance, I think, by the Lobos in the second half. The offense continuing to do some good things, but not able to finish drives.
No, we weren't able to put the ball in the end zone, and the score, as lopsided as it looks, 42-14. It wasn't that kind of a game, unfortunately. I mean, obviously, that was the final score, and the object is to score more points than they did, but we had opportunities all over the field. I mean, we got lucky right there that they didn't get a pick six on one of Devin's throws. Obviously, the punt team did a lot better this week. They didn't have any return yards. The coverage was better. Aaron did a fantastic job of hanging the ball up. And then after that, we were able to keep him out of the end zone, but we didn't put the ball in the end zone to give ourselves a chance. We had numerous chances to get it closer, and we just shoot ourselves in the foot, whether it be stopping our own selves in the red zone with a penalty or a sack, something along those lines that keeps us from scoring points.
Nice tackle, nice play right there by Demarius Lewis to get Boise State off the field on 3rd down.
And what a great punt that was by their punter. They sideline punted it, landed about the 9-yard line. And then you're going to see Devin do some dynamic things with his feet again. Great run right here by Ja'Cory. I mean, Ja'Cory just runs hard. And this is what I really appreciate about our football team. I mean, obviously the score right now is 42-14. We're not going to win the football game. But these guys are out there competing their tails off. I mean, they go until the very last whistle, regardless of what the score is, regardless of what the situation is. I mean, they're going to run the ball. They're going to try and keep them out of the end zone on defense and try and score points on offense.
Another great late completion there to RD on the last possession to Ryan Davis. And like you said, Coach, yeah, these are scenarios, maybe on occasion earlier in the year, they end up being touchdowns, but you guys bow up and keep them out of the end zone here and force them to take a knee.
We do. We kept them out of the end zone. I mean, they were trying to run the ball and see what they can. They finally, Coach Avalos decided just to get in the victory formation and not score any more points. I mean, they obviously made a decision in Boise the next day, and it is what it is. And we got 2 more games. We got to go get ready for Fresno this week. I know this: our kids will show up with great spirit and we'll fight. And if we don't shoot ourselves in the foot, it'll be a competitive game. We'll have a chance to win. Coach,
yours is a cutthroat profession. Avalos gets dismissed after a win. He's back to 500 this year with a chance to become bowl eligible. There's really no margin for error.
I mean, there really isn't. I mean, we've had our struggles here, and we're trying to build a program. I mean, those decisions that are made for like Coach Avalos, I mean, those are tough. Coach Arnett today. I mean, those things happen. It's what it is in the profession.
Have you spoken to your friend, Zach Arnett?
I have not yet. I mean, that happened this morning, and I'm sure he's got a lot going on right now trying to figure out what their next step is. But I'll tell you what, he's walking away with $4.5 million, so I'm sure Mr. Arnett will be just fine.
All right. We come back after the timeout. We put a ribbon on the game in Boise, and we get set for a Lobo trip to Fresno State next. We're back to close out this edition of your Lobo Coaches Show. I'm Robert Portnoy with the head football coach at New Mexico, Danny Gonzalez. Coach G, let's wrap up Boise State. The first career start for your true freshman quarterback, Devin Dampier. Ja'Cory Krosky-Merritt's coming back for another year. If you could start your offense next season with those two, that'd be a pretty good place, wouldn't it?
No, it'd be a great place. I mean, Devin will have some leadership opportunities over the winter break and over the spring semester. he needs to step up in that, and we're not putting that on his shoulders right now. That's too much for a true freshman. But he's got a savvy personality, and he'll be a great leader, and they'll follow him.
What about leaders on defense? Your defense has taken some shots this year, and you're going to need them to step up as well, aren't you?
Well, we're going to have to obviously right down the middle. I mean, Alec isn't full speed and is doing a phenomenal job with what he's got. We're missing Ray Luatele. We're missing Tavian Combs. Those are guys that we had during fall camp that we anticipated being on the field, and we're a completely different defense. We have those guys healthy. Obviously, we need to recruit some depth and fill in those spots. And then we got to get more pressure on the quarterback. So we'll do some of those things that we're recruiting, and it'll give us a chance to be successful.
Great point at the linebacker position. Starting group of Riley, Leatele, Marenko, all healthy, you feel pretty good.
And then you throw Demetri Johnson into that mix. I mean, you've got 4 linebackers that are as good as anybody in our league. But 3 of them right now, I mean, Alec is as banged up, and give Alec credit for him to play his tail off every week and what he has to do just to get to Saturday. Ray obviously can't play. Sai's been beat up all year, and Tavian hasn't been able to play. I mean, that's a pretty big portion that you're missing.
Yeah, definitely. Marenko's knee has not been right for much of the year. Okay, a look ahead. Fresno State, another pillar in the conference. What about the Bulldogs?
Well, San Jose State got after them on Saturday. They're still fighting for an opportunity to win the conference championship and play in the championship game. So they've got a lot to play for. Mike Keene, their quarterback, he took a really aggressive blow. So hopefully we'll see. I hope he's okay and we get to compete against him Saturday.
We look forward to it, Coach.
Thanks.
For Danny Gonzalez, our head football coach, Frank Mercogliano, and Chase Christensen, I'm Robert Portnoy. So long, everybody. Go Lobos.